Hey, listen, some of you who have gone through a divorce, never happy times, no matter how amicable it might be. But if you got kids, then you wind up being a step something, a stepfather or a stepmother. I have an evil stepmother here in the studio. Welcome back, Barbara.
Thank you for having me
Barbara
again.
Goldberg, the evil stepmother speaks. When was the first time someone called you an evil stepmother, or was it you?
It was me, probably first, but right away you get called that. But you know what it's great for? If you compete with the kids, especially if you're playing that light game, you know, where you're in the
tag.
Laser tag. That was my moniker, so I could take them down.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you are a stepmother or a stepfather, though, it's got to be one of the toughest roles in the world.
Absolutely, it is. It's tough because what do you do? There are no rules to the game, and it's just one of those, they call it an ambiguous role. Am I a friend? Am I a parent? Am I a quasi-parent? And many of us have the kids full time.
Well, and
Then
if it's tough for the step-parent, imagine how tough it is for the kids, because they don't know what the role is supposed to be.
Exactly right. And they always take the biggest hit, and no matter what anyone says about a divorce, it's always the kids that pay the price. As much as any of us that have been divorced say, it's always them.
So give me the 1-minute condensed version of, you got a divorce and then you met a guy.
Right. And then I met a guy, and then we all, between us, had 4 children. And we thought, we're not going to introduce anybody to us for a while until we feel pretty confident. Then we meet the kids, and then we have pretty much rules of engagement, and then we just jump in.
Did they give you this business? You know, like the first time, you know, are you supposed to be impressing me or something?
No, it was better. My favorite.
What?
I won't turn the child in, but you know who you are. You know what? Actually, you're not that bad. I thought he'd bring home someone much younger and beautiful.
Oh, did you really get that?
Oh yeah, it's great because you're normal.
That child.
I left. I was like, I don't think that was a compliment.
Is
I'm not
it a
really
girl
sure.
or a guy?
A girl.
She should begin writing her own book. That's clever stuff. And then the holidays.
Yes.
It's bad enough when you say, Daddy's going to marry this lady, or Mommy is going to bring this man into our house. That's tough enough.
Right.
Then it happens, and then before you know it, it's Christmas.
Yeah, the guilt fest, I call it.
All right, how do you handle one of the basic things? Now, you have been both stepmother and evil.
Yes.
How do you handle where everybody goes when you've got the 2 families, perhaps living in the same city?
Hopefully.
Then what?
Then what? Well, usually a lot of that is dictated by the divorce. Truth be known, I mean, most divorced, separated couples have a schedule. So they're alternating every year, and, you know, the schedule is the schedule, and you're hopeful that you have 2 biological parents that, you know, work together and abide by the schedule. But the trick is, on this one, is to be flexible. I always say, if you want to ruin the holidays, start arguing about the time. So my greatest advice to any family that has any kind of sharing going back and forth is just get it in your head now that people are going to be late. I mean, it makes sense. So if you're going to switch at 5 o'clock, you know, Uncle Joey's in from so-and-so, and this one's here, and it's let it go.
But don't argue, whatever it is, don't argue in front of the kids.
It's the worst. Not only don't argue in front of the kids, don't think that your facial expressions, the eyeball rolling, you know, that's also arguing in front of the kids. No bad mouthing.
Yeah,
the other parent.
Do kids often interpret the fact that the stepmother, and sometimes the biological parent, is negatively disposed toward bombing on the other parent that isn't there, saying negative things, even though you might not be intending to? Do they hear things that perhaps you don't intend that suggest to them that you are being critical of the other parent.
Well, of course, because there's actually some good biology that would support that anyway. You hear, life is reality is your perception. So the truth of the matter is, we all grow up with these stories. I mean, watch Jerry Springer. That's pretty much it. Or watch
If you do watch Jerry Springer, of course, it'll be on AZTV, noon and 1 o'clock, Monday through Friday.
Exactly right. And if you watch that, nice. When you watch that, then you see that people have grown up with this notion, especially of women, arguing and not liking each other. Even you can like each other tremendously. Like I believe in your family, the women love each other tremendously. But it's ingrained in your head.
But you know what? In your head. And it's all ingrained in the book, The Evil Stepmother Speaks, which is available where?
It is on every e-reader from Amazon and also on my site, The Evil Stepmother Speaks.
Even T-shirts.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
We held up one, hold up another one.
Another one. These are T-shirts. Finally, we have T-shirts like we desperately need as stepmothers that actually say nice things and give people a little bit of sense of who we really are. So
what a terrific, heroic role to play. And then comes holiday gift competition.
Oh, yes.
All of those things, of course, you can find out what not to do and what to do in The Evil Stepmother Speaks. You're introduced to it on the Morning Scramble.